Hello again, everybody. I haven't did a vlog lately, though. I mean, I did one, though, when I used it with the YouTube camera, webcam, video source, whatever you want to call it, though, but it fell through, though. However, it didn't work, though. Unfortunately, as of now, I believe it's no longer available on YouTube, so I guess I'm going to have to use my quick cam for this one, though. So, you're welcome, Domenic Michaux, whatever your name is. Because this one, I'm gonna talk about some Reno area malls. There were 4 malls that opened up in Reno, Nevada. It was Shoppers Square, Park Lane Center Mall. What else? Old Town Mall, and also Meadowood Mall. Out of all the 4 malls in Reno, there's only 3 remaining. Because since Park Lane Center ended up getting demolished back in '09. So yeah. Yes. First of all, I'm going to talk about. So first of all, let's talk about the perhaps the first mall in Reno, Nevada, which was called Shoppers Square, which opened up back in 1964 as an open-air shopping center. So, with that being said, I don't know if I'm going to switch to I don't know, maybe we're going to take a look at it on here, but so anyway, perhaps the first mall in Reno, Nevada was Shoppers Square, which opened up back in 1964, and it was family owned. It still is family owned today. So yeah, that is pretty interesting. So lag. So I don't know, let's begin. Okay, so now we are looking at my computer screen now. The first mall we're going to first start talking about is Shoppers Square. Now, Shoppers Square first opened up in 1964 as Reno's first shopping mall, as well as one of Reno's first shopping centers. Now, the mall was originally open air, though, and it featured I don't know, I don't know, but I believe it was enclosed sometime in the 70s or 80s, I have to say. So yeah. But anyway, so the mall is it's a pretty historic shopping center right now. It's a landmark, actually, believe it or not, though. I mean, if you look at this, though, as you can see by the sign, though, as Marshall Staples, looks like they might have just redid the sign, remodeled the sign, Soccer City and stuff like that. I'm not sure if Radio Shack is still open, though, because I think they filed for bankruptcy, though, but you get it. So, as you can see at their mall website, on this mall's website, it's celebrating over 50 years in Reno. So kind of cool, huh? You can see it says mall entrance right there, though. So yeah, here's an old photograph of the mall back when it first opened. As you can see, it was open air, though. So yeah, let's take a look at the pictures here. That's groundbreaking. I believe took place in 1962-63. There's one of the stores that's there. No, I think that was Woolworth. And you can see, and you can see this was the main corridor or whatever, walkway in the mall when it first opened. Kind of cool, huh? Open air. So today, Shoppers Square is actually pretty. I heard from some people it's actually pretty dead, though. I don't know if this is true or not, though, but according to some sources, but yet it seems to be attracting a lot more business, though. It seems to be attracting a lot of business and stuff like that. that photo. There was actually a photo that was taken inside the mall, though. You can probably take a look at. Yeah, so it's pretty interesting now, you know? Pretty interesting mall. I'm gonna take a little look at the pictures and stuff of the mall. So anyway, here's the interior of the mall. As you can see, the architecture place kind of screams of the 70s or 80s, I should say. And like, it kind of seems pretty interesting though. You know, look at these curved arches and stuff, you know, over at Tuesday morning store there. By looking at this though, it looks like it was taken around Halloween though, because of this here though. The style brown. Looks like a designers and collections though. Pretty interesting, huh? So yeah, kind of seems pretty interesting, you know. Let's see if this is gonna load. Oh, here's an old photograph of the mall back then. Here's the front of Marshall's, the Marshall store in the mall. Right here. You can tell that's old though, right there. You can actually tell it was open air though, just by looking at the brick and stuff, you know. Kind of cool, huh? Interesting what architecture can tell you about. Here's an old photo of the mall. Wow, look at this. Now that takes you way back right here, though. Ain't that something, you know? As you can see, it was a mini mall, though, you know? So, you know, it wasn't really that big and stuff like that, though, so yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we're done with this mall. Let's move on to across the street to where another mall once stood. Okay, moving from the Shoppers Square shopping mall, we move across the street to what was once another shopping mall. This mall was called the Park Lane Center Mall. It opened up in 1967 as an open-air shopping center. Kind of odd for it at the time, though, because this might have been one of the very last open-air malls ever built, you know, before all of them became enclosed. So kind of interesting, huh? So yeah, if you look at this site here, you're probably wondering, because it obviously looks like there was a big structure here, like a mall, though, because obviously the parking lot stuff tells it all. But unfortunately, this site hasn't seen development for years and years and years and years. Though. One of the things that you can find, though, about this that you might find interesting about this, though, is the fact that you can actually see the old sign that used to remain from it. Nobody took down. This is going to load in time. Oh, come on, Google. You got an old throwback McDonald's place over here, though. I don't know if this might be old, though. Probably since 19... I don't know. And over here we have the old Parkway Lane Center Mall. You can see right there, though, the sign right there, though. That's what's left of the mall. Except for maybe a few parking lights and shit like that, though. So it's kind of sad, though. Yeah, it's kind of sad, I have to admit, though. But I can actually show you how the mall looked like. So this is one of the pictures that was taken inside the mall when it was still in operation or it's still standing. As you can see, the mall was pretty dead, though. I don't know. It's probably rotten, though. So the mall this was probably Reno's first regional shopping mall. Well, enclosed, that is. I'll get to Reno's first enclosed mall in a little bit, but unfortunately this mall no longer stands, as you can see what I mean. Oh man, Shopping Lane Mall. really cool though. If you ever watch Dan Bell's videos, yeah, you gotta check out his channel though. He has a lot of stuff on dead malls. But if you ever get the chance to watch any of his videos, you'll know exactly what I mean about rave though, and these malls. So yeah. So moving on. C's Candies. Used to be a candy store in there though. Yeah, you can definitely tell this mall was open air though, just by looking at the doors and stuff like that stuff, It's fun. And then especially the brick and stuff like that. So yeah. And these awnings and lights right here though. Oh, that seems interesting. Has speakers in it and stuff like that though. Yeah. It was a pretty interesting mall though. I wonder if there's still any rave stores still around though. I wonder if there are. Slot Car Warehouse. Yeah, you can definitely tell this was open air originally now, because you got this and stuff here. So yeah, interesting, huh? And in case you didn't know what the exterior of the mall looks like though, I'll show it to you right now. This thing's ever gonna come. Yeah, see it first split to go all the way up. So that was the exterior of the mall right here. It was the first regional mall in Reno. First regional shopping mall in Reno. Oh, Patrick Ness just sent me a video. So I'll get to that later on. So anyway, moving on now. Okay, so we're back. So now we're going to take a look at the Reno Town Mall, which was arguably the first originally enclosed mall in Reno, Nevada. It opened up back in 1972, though. Now, the place is architecture kind of strange in some way, though, because if you look at it on here, though, it kind of looks like an open-air shop, like a strip mall and stuff like that, though. It kind of seems pretty interesting. Let's see if I can get a street view. This was a street view from 2011. I mean, look. And again, I guess Shoppers Square was sort of like a strip mall, if you looked at it from the outside, though. But if you look at this mall right here, though, it kind of looks like... It definitely looks like a strip mall. I mean, look at this. Look at this mall. It's like... It's like, you look at it though, and it's like you can't even realize this was a mall. Food stores. There's a supermarket right here. I think this used to be the Rally's Pharmacy. I'll bring up the Labor Star website of this mall, so you can see more detail in this shopping center. Okay, here we go. So, if you look at this mall, it definitely kind of screams of the late 70s, early 80s. I should probably say early 80s, though, which is one of the things I kind of find cool about the Reno Town. It's like it hasn't really changed. It's like a mall that time has forgotten, but still is thriving. So we're going to take a look at this Label Star website. Okay, so a little interesting history. Okay, so out of all the out of 4 enclosed malls, the Parkway Center Mall is no longer demolished a few years ago, replaced by a barren windswept lot. The Meadowood Mall is the only truly large super regional mall in the metropolitan area, though several newer, fairly large outdoor malls have sprung up in either South or on a strip or in Sparks. That leaves two more enclosed malls along South Virginia Street, and both of them are small and along. So the Shoppers Well. No, not Shoppers Well though, but I mean Shoppers Square Shopping Center. The Parkway Center Mall no longer stands up though, but we do have this though. Look at this mall. Ain't that kind of cool looking? Yeah, I mean it does. It's like 2 floors, you know. It's an actual mall, you know. It definitely kind of screams of the 70s or 80s. I should say 80s. So anyway, this mall was built in 1972 as Reno's first true enclosed shopping mall. Very small for its size, though, I gotta admit, though. There's some information on it for you. Okay, so the Reno Town Mall opened up in 1972 as the Virginia Center at the corner of South Virginia Street and Packland Lane. The original anchors were Rowley's own Eagle Berthy the Superstore and a Brewer's Furniture Store. Berner's, whatever it's called. Okay, so the owners would quickly declare bankruptcy. However, in 1970, Mall was sold and renamed the Old Town Mall instead. Whatever it said. So it's so around and by the early turnaround. Okay, so around and by the early 1980s, so the center was mostly vacant and then dubbed the Ghost Town Mall by many Reno. So in 1982, the mall began a renovation to reposition itself, adding a Marshall store as a new anchor and attracting more tenants to bring I don't know. You get what I mean. I mean, if you want to believe this, though, you know. Okay, so in 1989, Marshalls left the mall and quickly fell into foreclosure, failing yet again. Rotor Investments, Nevada snatched up the mall in 1992, leasing as much as 20. Okay, so they brought the mall back up to I don't know. You get what I mean. Sorry about that. Little whoops. Pause. I mean, they brought them all back up to 100% occupied. So yeah. So this mall is, yeah, a pretty interesting mall, though. I gotta admit, though. So yeah, that seems interesting in some way. So you know what I mean. So yeah, that seems interesting. I mean, you know. I mean, look at this. Hold on for a second now. Hold on, I gotta stop this video because it's gonna cut off in a little bit. Let me start it. Okay. I mean, if you look at this mall, though, it definitely looks like a strip mall, okay? I mean, seriously, from the outside, though. But you'll be fooled because when you step inside of it, underneath its entrance, it actually is an enclosed mall. Interesting enough. We got this here. As you can see, the architecture of the place definitely screams of the 1980s. Well, early 80s, I should say. So yeah, kind of cool, interesting mall. I mean, look at that brickwork. Reddish brownish tile in the brickwork. You know, definitely screams of the 80s, so you know, early 80s, I should say, because you got the brass handrails and stuff like that, though, and all that other shit. Yeah. Here's something you might not see in every mall today. In any mall today, though. fountains and plants. Like, when was the last time you saw one of these in a shopping mall, though, in the nation, though? So, yeah, that seems interesting, in some ways. You know what I mean? I mean, like, seriously, it kind of does, I mean, like, it kind of shows you something and stuff like that, though. Yeah. Apparently this mall is doing pretty good in some ways, so matter of fact, I'll bring up the website of the mall if you want me to. Anyway, about these reviews on the Reno Town Mall, though, it kind of shows, how it, kind of looks like, in some ways, so, I mean, some people claim there's not that many stores in it, though, and I'd say, probably not really, though, but it's a tiny mall. What do you expect? Okay? It's a mini mall. You haven't never seen anything like it, though. It reminds me of the old Butler Mall that used to stand up there on where Walmart's at now, here in Butler. So, yeah. Anyway, let me just move on to the website for you. And here's the website. Interesting, huh? 4B01 South Virginia Street, Reno, Nevada. I'm guessing that's the area code for it, though. So, I mean, it looks pretty interesting. The mall definitely looks interesting, I gotta admit, though. I like to visit this place, though, to see what goes on here. Let's take a look at the directory, if it's ever going to load. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's like Proper Fit, American Matters Media. It's a radio station and air access to healthcare network. Burlington Coat Factory seems to be the major anchor in this store. Find Nevada First. Of course, Food Source, Supermarket. I guess that's where the old Bailey's Pharmacy was. Super Pharmacy. Florida's Family Salon. Hong Kong Nail Salon. There's a Sierra View Library, which is like Round Table Pizza. Ooh, it's interesting. Oh, yeah. And Silver State Coffee and Deli. Let's take a look at this place. This looks pretty interesting. Coming soon to Reno Town Mall. I mean, look at this. And Davy. Kind of cool, huh? So, yeah. I mean, look at this mall. It definitely screams of the 70s and 80s, I mean, like, that's what makes this mall kind of cool in some ways, though, The architecture hasn't really been touched since, like, the early 80s, I mean, the mall is pretty interesting, I mean, like, I mean, it's small and stuff like that, though, and it's, like, pretty interesting, no? But I mean, these mini malls, like these tiny malls and stuff, always fascinate me. Especially ones that are doing so well. Sort of like this one, semi-doing well, though. Or like the Shoppers Square Mall and the stuff. Yeah. So yeah. Kind of interesting, though. So now, moving from the Reno Town Mall, we go to Reno's major mall, which is right up the street, or down the street, I should say, from it, called, hold on, wait for it, called Meadowood Mall. Now, this is the only major mall in Reno right now, though, ever since Park Lane Center closed and was torn down, though. This is the only major enclosed mall in Reno. That's pretty much owned by. And of course, guess who owns it, though? Guess who owns it? It starts with an S and ends with an M. That's right, Simon. And you heard lovely stories about Simon Malls, especially their photograph photography policy. Or anti-photography policy, I should say, though. Although I think that has changed now, though. But This is the newest mall in Reno, Nevada. Well, enclosed that is. And the biggest one in Reno. This is Reno's only regional shopping center. Right here. Reno Regional Shopping Mall. So yeah. We can take a look at this mall. We can actually take a look at a few pictures of it if you want. So yeah. It's gonna load. Sorry. This thing is slow as shit. Slow as fuck. Okay, so here we go. Here's one photo. This would be the food court entrance to the mall, though. And of course, it looks like a typical Simon cookie cutter mall, architecture-wise, so. I don't know why they decided to do that, though, but it's just their thing. Oh, the mall definitely does look nice. It just remodeled. They just received a major remodel just recently, though. So, yeah, I do have to prove the mall looks definitely nice, though. It opened up in 1978, though. That's doorway still the same, though. And it's only one floor, though. Compared to the two other closed malls in Reno, which are two floors. Oh, I think most of the second floor and one in Shoppers Square, though, is office space. So, yeah. Is this at Meadowood Mall? This can't be right. Yeah. I mean, look at this place. You know, it definitely looks nice how they remodeled it, though. You know, I mean, the architecture definitely screams to the late 70s, early 80s, you know? I mean, look at it! I mean, they still kept the skylights the same shit like that. I mean, it's pretty interesting, you know? I gotta admit, that they actually did. And that was a rendering, a SketchUp rendering of that, and now this is this. So, yeah. Got a little, I don't know, this looks kind of old right here. That hairstyle and stuff definitely screams to the 1980s, so. Again, it might be actually pretty recent, though. Yeah, this would be the stuff and shit like that. I don't know what to say. That's Park Century. That last one was Park Lane Mall. I mean, look how this mall is like, though. You know, it's like very bright and stuff like that, though. You know, I mean, got a food court, everything on it, though. In my closing statement of this vlog or vlog, I'd like to point out that these malls are that I list and talked about, though, in Reno seem to be pretty interesting, especially that Shoppers Square one and the Old Town Mall. So, this kind of tells about some things about this that shopping malls still seem to be doing somewhat okay in Reno, though, especially that Meadowood one, you know, whatever you call it, though. Because, like, most of the shopping centers in Reno are all open air and stuff like that. There's, like, only 3 enclosed malls in the city. So, yeah. So, I hope you all enjoyed this little vlog and insight and tour of the Reno shopping malls. So, with that being said, that's it.